Well, hello there. Um, I am happy to be here. We are doing a great webinar today, Keeping Customers for Life. It's interesting that, the more I go out there and talk to real estate agents, the more I hear complaints from real estate people about the customer service that they see other agents are providing and the lack of customer service, I should say. So today we're going to talk about a very important subject, and that is, once you uh, find a customer and sell that customer, then you certainly are looking to keep that customer for life. So what kinds of things can we do to make sure that we are doing everything possible to keep customers sending us referrals and all of that kind of thing. So don't hesitate to ask questions. The questions I will take at the end of the session. Okay, so let's look at some tips for keeping customers for life. You know, the best salespeople and the best companies implement strategies, that acquire customers to keep them coming back to them. The goal must be to develop long-term customer relationships and then to hold on to them in the face of more aggressive competition. I mean, we know how competitive our business is, and it's just gotten more and more and more competitive, as we know. So there's so many options and so many choices for people today. Nothing is more important than this subject today, as far as I'm concerned. So, if you think about it from this point of view, when you come into a situation with a customer, whether it's a buyer or a seller, think about the second sale. Don't think about the first. And what I really mean by that is the first sale is always the hardest. It's the most expensive. It's the one that's cost you the most money, from a marketing point of view to find clients in the first place. But the second sale is the one that is most important because the second sale is proof that you have actually done a really great job on the first presentation or the first sale with this client. So they are coming back to you a second time. So, when somebody comes back to you, that is a real vote of confidence in the kind of service that you've provided. And to be honest with you, it's so much easier to build your business working with customers that you've already done business with and see what you can do to get them referring you and that sort of thing. Because, those are the ones that already know who you are and know the kind of quality of service that you provide. So in reality, you actually go out each day and you sell people your services in exchange for your fees. And, you're promising your clients that great service. So very important that you look at each one as a deal for the future, not just a deal for today. And too often, that's when I'm hearing real estate people say that I can't believe that these real estate agents are still in business today. I hear so many complaints. I don't know how it is in the area that you're working, but I know I hear tons of complaints constantly. Resales and referrals are almost free. And what do we mean by that is resales to satisfied customers are 10 times easier than that of a new customer. 91% of customers say they would actually give a referral. 91%. However, the interesting stat is that only 11%, based on this is a Dale Carnegie, quote from a while back, but still, I believe that to be the same, that only about 11% of salespeople are actually asking for referrals. So I get you to think about, are you in fact asking for referrals? A resale only requires 1/10 of the time. A referral from satisfied customers is 15 times easier to sell than a cold call. 15 times easier. So, I mean, no question, your chances of success are so much greater with resales and referrals. And selling a referral requires 1/15 of the time and cost. So, as I say, 90%, a good referral as a sale is almost like 90%. from the minute they walk in the door if they're a referral. I mean, that just shows you how wonderful it is to be able to get those referrals. So what it does, in fact, is create a chain of satisfaction and referrals. So if you look at that little diagram here, there you are at the person who's looking for the referral. And then if you get 3 referrals, look how it can, and each one of them give you 3 referrals. You can see how that chain of referrals can really grow. So once you have made the sale and the customer is happy, develop that referral business by asking everyone to refer you. Ask confidently. Be confident when you ask them. Ask exponentially, expectantly, that you are expecting it because they're happy, because you've done a good job, you've been honest with them, and you've done great service for them. And of course, courteous. We all know that. So ask customers, and even non-customers, that maybe they haven't bought from you, but they know that you've been in the business, know who you are. So make sure that you can assure them that you will not pressure the person whose name that they are providing you, okay? Because that's one of the reasons I think some people are a little leery about giving referrals, because they think, salespeople will high pressure them. Let them know that's not your style. You're not somebody who's going to high pressure. You're somebody who wants to provide a good service for them. And if they're looking for an honest, hardworking realtor, that in fact is you. But if the time isn't right for them, that's okay. You're in the business. You're going to be in the business for many years. And if it's not right now, then maybe in a year or 2 years, but you're here. So word of mouth advertising, make your customers part of your sales force by getting them to sell when they talk to friends and family, to sell you. So if they hear somebody, teach them on what to say, how to be able to promote you. Talk to them about the fact that, what you specialize in, making sure that they understand how to be able to promote you. Most important element, of course, is outstanding service. You look at the top 1%, 2% in the industry, and if people ask me, what is it that makes them so super successful, I can tell you that all of them, without exception, are service. Their service is just absolutely incredible. I mean, that their whole business is around servicing their client. Speedy responses to questions and concerns and inquiries, fast, continuous care, using the modern tools of today. Being a modern, up-to-date realtor is really going to help a great deal. And it's so easy today with some of the great follow-up tools that we have to be able to stay in touch with people, because it's all about that. It's about staying in touch. And if you think about all the clients that you have, how often are you getting back in touch with them? And do you have a system in place? Many contact management systems have built-in follow-up programs, activity plans, they call them, so that you can set it up if this is a potential seller and they're not ready right now, or they're a past client. These activity plans are all created for you. The emails are done for you. The messages for your posts that you want to do on Facebook and so on. A lot of them have all of that ready for you, so you don't even have to create it. The one that I always recommend, and it's one that I like because they're right here locally. They have great customer service in terms of their contact management system, and it's called Exact, IXACT. And you can find them online. They have great activity plans, and their follow-up systems are all done for you. You don't have to do anything. You just have to implement them. So, very, very important that you have that, and having people spread the word for you, and they will if you do great service. Ask the ultimate question based on your experience with me, Mr. Seller, Mr. Buyer, now that they've bought. Would you recommend me to others? Ask the question, okay? I loved asking the question when the sold sign got put onto their property. That is the best time, right then, right there, is once that sold sign sticker or sold sign gets put on the property, the conditions are removed, everything is firm now, you're just waiting for closing. now is the best time to ask for that. So the willingness of someone to refer you is the highest level of customer satisfaction. So make sure, Mr. Seller, I build my business and my success is based on people and them being satisfied with my customer service. Would you recommend me to others? Is there anyone you know right now that might be thinking of buying or might be thinking of selling? And would you be willing to give me a referral of any of those people? And so don't hesitate to ask that question. Make sure you're regularly sending out thank you cards to people, even people who were working with you, for example, a buyer or a seller that changed their mind, they're not ready right now for whatever the reason is. Make sure you send out those thank you notes. There shouldn't be a day or a week go by where you're not sending out, 10 or 20 thank you notes to people that you've done business with, or people that have changed their minds, keeping them in your name in their mind. So make sure they're handwritten, send them promptly, and as I say, send out 12 thank you cards if you can every day to all of your customers. And if it's not a thank you card, just wanted to keep in touch, just wanted to find out how things are going, thought I'd send you a little note. So send notes out. I love receiving notes, and especially the handwritten ones. Too often real estate people are not doing that enough. My apologies. Again, allergies. Sorry. Be a resource for your customers. In other words, no matter what your customer needs are, try to help them with it. Even if the needs that they have got nothing to do with real estate, but if they're trying to find somebody who's, an electrician or a plumber or something, even if it's not directly related to your sale or your purchase, shower your customers with kindness and try to do everything you can. Always remember, give customers what they want, when they want it, and they will want you to be the real estate agent for them forever, because that's your goal. Every customer is a customer for life, and that's how you should be thinking on a regular basis. I also believe in rewarding customers. Now, this is a subject that I talk about quite a bit with real estate agents. After they've made a sale, they ask me the question, what should I buy as a gift? That's a hard one, let me tell you, because, they just bought a house for $1 million, or a big expensive property, $400,000, $500,000, and the last thing you want to do is send them a plant, if you know what I'm saying, because they're looking at, wow, you just made how many thousands of dollars of commission, and what are you sending me as a plant? So when it comes to rewarding customers, I say to real estate agents, don't just reward them after they've purchased something from you or sold a house through you. My customers, I always like to have throughout the year, for example, when you get to know your customers, let's say you have a customer who's a golfer, he or she, and they just love golf, for example. So, it can be throughout the year. You may go into a golf store and say, you know what, I think I'm going to buy them something from the golf store, a golf certificate, where they can spend and get what they want, and then just send an e-card out, an email out with a nice card and put a gift certificate, and has nothing to do with them just buying a house through you or selling a house. But all of a sudden they go to their mailbox, they open it up, it's a nice little card from you, and inside is a little gift certificate for $50 or $100. And if you do that several times throughout the year, when I say several times, Christmas time and the holidays, obviously, but if they're theater lovers, get them tickets to the theater, so if you spread out your rewards throughout the year and you're not just doing it right when they bought or sold, it makes a big difference. Believe me, that first of all, they'll love your mail. They'll open it all the time because they're thinking, oh my God, what am I going to get this time? So client appreciation events, there's all kinds of great things that I see real estate agents doing. as far as client appreciation events. If they have a company, do business with them. So if there's some kind of a service or business that they have that you can use their services for yourself, that's also great. What I used to give my clients in terms of once they just bought or sold, I always gave them a gift certificate to Home Depot. Is one of the things that I did, because everybody, once they bought a house, lives at Home Depot and buying stuff, for their home. So, give them a nice gift certificate at Home Depot. HomeLife also has, as you know, you can give them a credit card, and it's a HomeLife credit card. So you can order those. It's got to be at least $1,000. So, if you do a credit card for $1,000 or $1,500 or whatever after they've purchased through you, and now they can use it at Home Depot or wherever they want, is another great. And it's got the Home Life logo on it, kind of thing. So it's a great way to give them something that doesn't show that you don't remember them. So bringing them business as well as referring business to them, is also, as I say, a really, really great thing. So make sure that when you're rewarding people, that you're not just rewarding them just at the time of purchase or sale, throughout the year, a few times. Respond as soon as possible, as we know. That's a big problem. I can tell you that I have left messages for real estate agents, and I've had to wait days. Sometimes I never got a call back. I'm always shocked at how lack of customer support that I get sometimes with certain salespeople. It's not just real estate people I'm talking about. But respond to clients' leads as soon as possible, ideally within the first half hour to hour. Make sure make use of your CRM that are out there, ones that are designed for real estate salespeople. Most of them, of course, have a calendar where you can set up tasks, as I mentioned, and also set up automated website lead capture on your website. So, for example, most websites, if you've got a good one, if you're using the one that HomeLife recommends, the Income Real Estate, anytime somebody comes to your website and fills out a form, that information is automatically stored in a client management system in the back end of the website. And now that I've got these emails that are being added to my database in the website, I can now set up, drip campaigns automatically through that website. So if you've never looked at the HomeLife Income Real Estate website, it's part of the Realty package, that $39.99 a month package, where there's 4 different services that you're getting. One, of course, is a website, and then you've got your DocuSign, and you've got your Impreb marketing for listings, and of course your Reach 150, which is a referral program, which is perfect for this situation. Again, $39.95, and it's all there for all those 4 things. So respond as quickly as possible. And like I say, if you're using one of those great websites like the one that we talk about, you're easily going to get these leads put into a database, and it'll notify you. You'll get an email saying a new lead has been entered into your database, and then you can set up that drip campaign. It's not about 100%. I always say it's 110%, that extra 10%, that where you go above and beyond what normally people expect from a realtor. Give your clients that wow moment whenever possible. And keep in mind that wow moments don't have to be complicated. They can be simple. When you're doing an open house, I used to always bring cookies or treats, and I'd leave the treats for the family, so little things. It doesn't have to be a huge thing, little things that can make all the difference in the world, a great gift for some people as well is, hiring a cleaning lady for them after the house is sold, and say, look, I'll pay for that, and have the people come in and do a clean through the whole house. It might cost you a couple $100 again, but a great way to get extra referrals is because they didn't have to go in and do that extra cleaning once they've taken all their furniture out great way to be able to do that little extra to prove that you're somebody who cares. Also, be credible. If you don't establish trust right away, it's one of the most important things. And again, I can't believe how many times I hear complaints about real estate agents, not showing that trust or not providing the kind of, information that people can count on. So always remember, appearance counts. The way you hold yourself, carry yourself is also really important. Perception is reality, and the reality is that people do judge a book by its cover, like it or not, they do. So all of that is part of great referrals is also your appearance, the material you give them, your documents that you use when you're doing your presentations, everything, looking professional. Professionalism is the key word here because that's really what you're trying to do. So be credible, be professional, and use great tools to help promote you and your services. Let customers know what you're doing for them. In other words, I always believe in a service report. When I had a listing, I used to say to sellers, I keep track of everything, and I used to have service reports. And these service reports, I used to present to them at least twice a month, every couple of weeks. We would get together and I would go through these service reports. They were in writing, and I used to prepare them, and it would cover everything. Every time I answered a phone call, I kept notes, who called me, what we talked about, other realtors showing houses, what the reports they said. Every time I did a flyer or a feature sheet that I created, where I advertise. I mean, I keep records of everything, and I have it documented in a nice service report, and I now can sit down from them, or you can email it to them in a newsletter format, just to let people know that, the kind of service that you provide by showing it to them, by proving to them exactly what it is that you're doing. It's key. It'll dramatically make people feel more confident in you, in the competency of your service. If you never mention all the things that you're doing, they don't think you're doing anything. I mean, they judge a real estate agent by two things when it comes to their home being for sale. They first of all judge, how many times have you shown it? Well, I don't know about you, but I've listed houses many, many times in my lifetime where I've never shown it at all. Other people have shown it. I never showed it at all. But keeping track, keeping reports, keeping in touch with your clients, sitting down with them, going through all the things, the fact that you call these other agents and talk to them about their clients and so on makes that feel like you are doing. The other thing they judge you on is, are there any offers? And I've always said, if you've got a lot of showings, the showings are babysitting your customers, because they see activity. They see that people have been in to show the property because they got a phone call and they see the business cards there and they know the property has been shown. But if it's not getting shown, if it's been on the market for a while and you haven't gotten a price reduction and the showings have slowed down, then they think you're doing nothing. So that's why it's so important to keep track of everything you're doing and report to them exactly in writing the kinds of things that you do. I used to actually say to them, I used to have it on my website where I had a back end where they could log in, the client could log in, and there was a service report there that they could actually download and see. And so that can be done also with a website that you have, if you're using the ones that I'm talking about with income. Of course, the old saying, live by the golden rule. And treat others as you would want them to treat you. And it's the easiest way is to make customers feel like, your reputation is everything. Nothing is more important than your reputation. And I always say, I'd rather lose a sale and maintain my reputation than try to force anybody into anything. So, it's rarely. I mean, it's happened a couple times in my career, but if anybody has ever asked, will they, if they want a release, they want to work with somebody else, they're not happy, I would try and find somebody else in the office that I could refer them to. But bottom line, I just want to make it clear that to me, my reputation of being honest and ethical and, living by the golden rule, if they're not happy, I'm not happy. And nobody's happy. So, I mean, you shouldn't have to do that. But if you do, always remember, the critical thing to remember is that it's all about trust. And if they can trust you, they will refer you, even if business didn't go well. I've had people refer me, even though it didn't go well with me and they went to somebody else. I've had people refer me. So remember the ABC, always be communicating. And communicative. Again, I think that's another big letdown for many homeowners and buyers. They don't feel like they're being heard. They don't feel like they've gotten enough attention oftentimes. So how you communicate and how well you communicate will leave a strong impression on your clients. So it really boils down to what kind of service that you are providing your customers. There's a booklet actually that's put out by HomeLife. I'm going to hold it up. I don't know if you can see it. It's a listing proposal. It's actually quite a nice one. You can order this, by the way, in the Resource Center, and it's beautifully done. Just so you can see, it's beautifully done with some great graphics. I know this is not a very good place for you to see what I'm showing, but here's one of the promise of marketing. Here's one sheet in here, and I know you can't see this, but I just wanted to let you know that it's beautifully put together in a gorgeous booklet. My 20-point higher standards plan of action, and pointing out all the things that you're going to do for them. And this little booklet is something that you should take a look at. You can find it in the resource section of HomeLife. So when you go out on that listing appointment, if you're using something really nice like this, again, this is what I mean when I say your marketing materials should be professional. That is some of the kinds of marketing materials that are available to you through the HomeLife marketing systems that we have available for real estate agents. So keep in touch. Put it in writing, call your clients frequently. Don't let a week go by where you're not on top of your customers, whether it's a buyer or seller. Even if they've changed their mind, remember, keep in touch throughout the year, contact them from time to time, finding out if things have changed. Is there anything there, that they might be considering reevaluating the market again, or consider putting it on. Let them know what homes are selling for. So keep in touch, keep in touch, keep in touch. I think that is probably the last slide. Yes, it is. So any questions at all? All right. Okay. Well, thank you very much for being here. Always look forward to to doing these sessions. And as I say, remember to keep on top of your customers and keep them happy. Provide that 5-star HomeLife higher standard service to your people. And take a look at some of the marketing materials. This one is a good one, and definitely worth you looking at when you're out there on listing appointments. It's called the 5-star marketing system, the listing proposal. That's what I'm showing you here today. Again, keep well, stay in touch. See you again next week. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.